Look at that fish right there. Oh, the Tyrant 10. Dude, that's a big bass. Oh my goodness, dude. That is a giant. My God! My God! Me! Oh my God! What the? Oh my God, dude! Oh, dude! Oh my God! What do you want? That's crazy. How do you? I don't know. I never, ever, ever. Oh, what the fuck? Yes! Oh my God. Oh. That's a big one. Oh my God. Dude, that fish is an absolute giant. Oh. Right there. 10-inch Tyrant. Gone. It's gone, boys. Oh my God, dude. Dude, that's a freaking monster, man. Oh, I don't know. That's definitely like a 9. Holy smokes, that's a big, big fish. Donk. Look at that fish right there. Oh, the Tyrant 10. Dude, that's a big bass. Oh my goodness, dude. That is a giant. Alright, we're gonna weigh this fish real fast. I'm not quite sure how big this thing is. My adrenaline in the beginning was saying it's a 10-pounder to 10-pounder, but I think it's probably like a 9 something, so we're gonna check it out. Alright, just another look at that fish. Real fast. Had a double. Kind of close though. 9 pounds. 7-ounce fish. Nice belly. Big, big, beautiful fish right there. Oh man. Gotta love it, dude. You gotta love it. All right, we're gonna weigh this fish. This is fish number 2. Another nice, big, beautiful fish. Double nines today. 9 pounds even. Right there. Another big, beautiful fat fish. Absolutely smashed that Tyrant 10. Gotta love it, man. All right, twin nines right there. Unbelievable. 9.7 in this one, 9 even in that one. Absolutely unbelievable. 2 big girls right there. So sick, dude. All right, time to get you out of here. All right. Big girl. See you later. Right. Biggest one of the day at 9 pounds, 7 ounces. Thank you, girl. Oh, nice fat one. You're right. Wow, she is fired up. Absolutely a gorgeous fish. Love it, dude. Absolutely love it. All right, girl. Thank you. You're free. Nice little butterball. Smoked that Tyrant 10 right there. Nice fish. Tyrant 10 gone. On that new working class zero rod too. Nice. Super sick. Not a giant, but probably like a 6-pounder. We're gonna see her here in a second. Yeah. 6 pounds, 6-ounce fish. Not a giant, but healthy one. Absolutely smoked that Tyrant 10 right there. Nice. This guy right here is probably my favorite soft swim bait right now on the market, and that is the Working Class Zero Tyrant 10. If you guys have watched my last 2 videos, you guys will know that when I was in Japan, I was catching fish on the Tyrant 10. But even before that, back here in Arizona this past winter, I was able to catch those fish that you guys just saw on the Tyrant 10. Now, the way that I was fishing the Tyrant 10 this past season was very different, and I never really fished the Tyrant 10 like that before, but I got a tip from my buddy Jason where, not this last season, but the season before, Jason was able to catch quite a few giant bass utilizing the Tyrant 10, but the way that he was fishing it is basically a way that I'd never fished it, and since it was working so well for him, I thought, well, I might as well try it for my own fishing, and it resulted in some really nice fish that you guys saw. Now, the normal way to fish the Tyrant is you normally will throw in like a bubble, and then you can top rig it, or you can rig it on the bottom like as a floater or something that sits on the bottom with a treble hook. Or the other way to fish it is just with a normal weighted beast hook. But the way that Jason was fishing it was with a unweighted 12-aught owner beast hook. And basically, you rig it just like how you would normally with a normal weighted beast hook. There's no bubble in it, you just throw it in there. But using the unweighted beast hook, what would happen is you could fish this bait really slow, but kind of more in the middle of the water column. You're not on the bottom and you're not up on the top. My fish here locally, they don't really eat off the surface, so I rarely ever throw a floating Tyrant. I tried for like a month and a half of just fishing the Tyrant on the bottom, but I just wasn't getting any bites that way. And so talking to some of the guys locally that have live scope would say like, oh, they're not eating the baits off the bottom. I have to kind of fish it on the bottom and then rip it up, and then once I can get them off the bottom, they're willing to bite the bait. So I kind of took that information and said, all right, well, this is a perfect time to try kind of the Jason rig where I just fish it in the middle of the water column super slow, and without that bait kind of going too far down or staying too high up in the water column. And going with that unweighted 12-aught beast hook allows the bait to do just that. I wasn't putting any nail weights on the side. The only nail weight that I was putting was actually back here in the anal section, and it was like a really small one. It was either one like this big or one even smaller than that big. So like these were kind of like the two sizes that I was thinking about putting in the back anal section. And basically a lot of guys were asking like, well, how does it sink? Is it gonna roll a lot? Like, I don't understand, especially since you're done with the bubble and it's not really weighted. Well, there's an air chamber in here. And when I rig that beast hook through, there's gonna be a little pocket. And after fishing the bait for a little bit and casting it and just letting the bait kind of get soaked with water, that cavity will fill up with water and it'll become a slow sink without any extra weight added to it. Now, the reason why I put that small nail weight is that since there's all that weight up here, it's going to sink like this. So sometimes I just put that nail weight in there just so it can have maybe a little more level sink and it'll shimmy down. And this super slow sink, it's probably like an RF, I don't know, maybe 3. So it's just pretty slow, and so I can cast it out there and I can just slowly creep it, and it won't really sink down much. If it sinks down, it'll sink down maybe 3 to 5 feet on a long cast, but it stays up in the water column, and that's how I've been absolutely loving fishing this bait. And the way that my buddy Jason kind of described it was one, the fish aren't really seeing a soft swim bait reeled in the middle of the water column. A lot of the times guys are just fishing a glide bait or something like that in the middle of the water column. The hype way to fish the Tyrant obviously right now is up top floating, and a lot of guys have had some amazing success on the floating. My fish, again, they don't eat off the surface, and a lot of guys when they fish a soft bait, they're fishing it down on the bottom. So these fish are kind of programmed and trained to know like, okay, if it's on the bottom, it might not be the realest thing and we might not bite it. But if they see this thing swimming in the middle of the water column like a normal trout or gizzard shad might do,
they might come and investigate it more. And since you don't really have anything on there besides that beast hook, this Tyrant was built around that beast hook, so it fits nice and tight around the bait. And so if a fish comes up, inspects it, there's not really much to kind of deter it from, like, okay, like, there's nothing poking out, there's nothing sticking out, so let me eat it. And so I was getting a lot of bites. I caught those double nines in that 6-pounder doing that, and so it was the only way that I could get bit on a soft bait last season, and it's been really, really fun to fish it that way. If you are on a deep point too, you can fish it out there. You just have to wait for it to slowly get down, wait for your line to sink too, and you can slowly creep it. And since there's not much weight, it'll bounce over rocks super, super easy, so you're not wedging into rocks. So you can really do this technique with any soft bait on the market, from a Nate's baits to like a Magnum to a HUD. You just need to get a lighter version if they make it, or you might have to cut out some weight. But for the most part, Nate's, they kind of are very similar to a Tyrant. You have the new floating Magnum. You have, other baits on the market to do kind of the similar thing. But the way that the Tyrant is in that beast hook application, it's almost unbeatable. So that's how I caught those fish. For those double nines, the rod that I was fishing was just a Lowdown custom. This is the standard issue. It was the 8'6" extra heavy rod. I felt like it threw that Tyrant extremely, extremely well. It fought the fish well. It had enough backbone and strength to set that hook on that beast hook to fight those fish and get them in. And so, love this rod. Caught a lot of fish on it so far. Standard issues you can't go wrong with. Then, on that 6-pounder, that was on the newer Working Class Zero, the Form 1 rods. It was the 8'6" extra heavy rod. This rod is literally built for fishing the 10-inch Tyrant, and it throws it incredibly, incredibly well. Super sensitive. Just overall a fantastic, fantastic rod. And then the reel. You guys have been hearing me talk about this reel now for a while. That's the Daiwa Tatula 300. I was fishing it on 20-pound, I believe it was Seagar Tatsu at the time. So love, love, love that setup. Love the reel. And a slower gear ratio, 6'3". The slower the better. You don't want something that's too fast and you're overfishing the bait and it'll rise up. So you can keep that nice slow retrieve on that slow speed reel. But other than that, it's been really, really fun to fish the bait. Slightly bit different than how I have, and having success both here and 6,000 miles away in Japan doing the same thing felt really, really good to accomplish and do. So if you guys have bodies of water where there's a lot of pressure, whether guys are fishing their soft baits only on the bottom or up top, try just swimming in a soft bait in the middle of the water column. You might be surprised by some of the bites that you get. So other than that, thank you guys ever so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next episode. John.